Like this, so you sitting back, you could pan over a little bit, you know, to maintain. You want to keep a little lead room, like, so that it's like sort of, I don't know how much you've done this, but like thirds. So that he's on 1/3 of the screen, and there's space in front of him. So he looks like, you know, when I'm talking to him, you want to.
Yeah, like he's looking. Yeah, I know you're saying.
So, and then when he sits forward, you know, you can play with that a little bit, because I think you know what you're doing. So. All right. I should have brought a pen and stuff so I could write some things down. But...
I think I got one. I don't know if it works or not. Okay.
All right. So, why don't we talk a little bit at first about how you got into this? I know your dad was he the one that was running the boat initially, or
he had it built a long time ago.
Let me just fix this. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he had it built a long time ago when
72?
I was. Yep. And he ran it for a number of years and owned it, and up until about 10 years ago, he ran it, and he bought this fish market here, Nickerson Fish Market, and had a captain running the boat, and he just worked in the market.
Yeah.
And then the past 3 years, I worked on the boat as crew. And every summer during college, I worked on different boats. And then the past 3 summers, I worked on the Benja.
Okay, so how did he get into it? Is this something that has been sort of in your family a long time?
No,
or was
no.
Your dad?
He just got into it. Just it was the thing to do.
Yeah. Was he lobstering too?
Yep. Lobstering and cod fishing in the wintertime.
Okay. One thing, I know it's uncomfortable with everything going around, but I forgot to say this actually. When we're, I don't really want you to think about it that much, but try and sort of think of it as like a school essay or something. If I say, you know, do you like codfish? Rather than saying yeah, try and put it like I like codfish.
Yeah.
You know, that sort of thing. So, all right. So. He was doing it for what, like 20 years or so?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, he was.
Okay. So you went out for like the last 3 years with him?
No, not with him. With the guy that was running the boat at the time. That had run it for the past 8 to 10 years, 8, 9 years.
Okay, so in high school and stuff, you weren't?
No, I wasn't lobstering. No.
Okay. So what made you decide to get into it? You were probably thinking about it in college.
Yeah, I liked to be on the water, and I didn't want to be on the water for the rest of my life as a crew, and it was a good business to get into at the time. And I was ready for a change, a little more responsibility.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I just got it. It's really the way I have it attached more than anything. I got a grip on myself. Okay. So what about it do you think was good business-wise? I mean, you said it was a good opportunity and stuff. What were you thinking financially, as far as like working for yourself? Or?
Yeah, well, I've always liked to work for myself, and financially, it's a good decision. You definitely can't make a whole lot of money as a crew. I mean, you can, but not to really build.
Yeah.
On. So, and lobstering is a limited licensed fishery, so there's not everyone can do it, and there's only a few people. The only way you can get a license is through a relative or, you know, buying someone else out.
So if you had let that lapse, like your dad was getting out or whatever, and you didn't take it up with that, would your family have lost the license? Could you have done it 2 years later, or?
Well, he could.
Probably would have held on to it.
Yeah, he could have held on to it as long as he wanted to, but if he sold it to someone else, then that would have been it. So that's why I took advantage of it.
Okay. So how do you like captaining as opposed to being on a crew? I mean, it's probably, how long have you been doing it now?
It's my first year.
It's your first year?
Yeah.
Because I know, like, you know, I've been running a landscaping business the last, 7 or 8 years, 9 years. And there's certain payoffs, but there's also a whole lot of headaches.
Yeah, there's a lot of headaches.
What sort of a difference have you seen as far as now you're captain, what you have to deal with? I mean, obviously you're probably making more money, but
yeah, there's a lot.
Flip side to it.
Well, just in the summer here we have a lot of fog, and just getting in and out of the harbor every morning is a pain. And once you're out, trying to find all the buoys and with the radar and stuff, and that's a major headache. And then just dealing with all the financial aspects of it, and just trying to make enough money for your crew and for yourself, and there's a lot of weight. But if you go to work every day, then it's a little bit more easing, knowing that you're doing something in the right direction.
What do you mean?
Well, just makes you feel better. At least you're trying. If you don't try, it's not gonna happen. So that's why we try to go a lot, and makes me feel better about the whole.
Do you feel like you ever go out on days when maybe you shouldn't?
Oh, so, like waking up on the wrong side of the bed type days, or just like wet weather?
You wanted to make the money, and you figure you can, your traps are full out there.
Yeah.
And maybe it's a day that the past few days have been kind of bad, and you sort of feel like, geez, I got to get out there.
Yeah. Yeah, there's lots of days like that where you have to push yourself. Is that what you're talking about? Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's another hard part about it, is that being your own boss is great, but it's also bad because there's no one to kick you in the butt to say, you got to go to work today. It's all up to you. I mean, I can roll over and say, I don't want to go, but if you have enough debt, it keeps you.
And you're sort of responsible for Doug too, aren't you? Because if
Yeah.
you decide to go out and it ends up not working out, and you sort of wasted his time, right?
Yeah, but most of the time it hasn't been a bad call. There are some bad calls, but that's fishing.
Yeah.
You never know, and he knows that, and that he wouldn't be doing it. He knows what he got himself into.
How did you and Doug end up getting involved together?
I've known him for a long time, and when he found out I was buying the business, he asked for a job, and I knew he'd done it before with other guys, so it was very reassuring for me to know that I had a crew that knew what to do, because I wasn't really sure what I was doing,
Yeah.
So at least I didn't have to worry about teaching him.
Yeah.
So.
Did you guys? Most lobstermen usually go out with two guys on the boat?
Yeah.
Or is it more comfortable to work with like three or something?
No, all the inshore boats out of Chatham are two-handed, captain and crew, and the offshore boats that go out for days are, 3, 4, 5-handed.
Are you set up to do anything other than lobstering, or pretty much everything's rigged out for lobstering?
Right now it's rigged for lobstering, but you could go tuna fishing or cod fishing in the wintertime.
You ever do that?
I haven't yet. I mean, this is my first summer, so we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. So you have to sort of play it by ear and see how the summer goes.
Thing, right? No, we're done December fishing wise as far as going out, but it's a very gear intensive fishery. There's always lots of repairs to do on traps and rope and buoys, and constantly making new stuff.
So how do you spend your off season then?
Doing a lot of that. It's called gear work.
Yeah. So what does the year look like exactly? It's like February to something?
I mean, as far as on the water time is like about the end of May until Thanksgiving or the week after Thanksgiving, first week in December sometime. And then from December until, the spring, you're working on traps, and rope, and buoys, and then the boat, the haul out, paint the boat, and do all that stuff.
Is that fairly intensive, or do you kind of see it as time off?
It's nice. Yeah, it's kind of time off. I mean, but you always have something to do in the morning or during the day.
But it's a break from going.
It's a break, yeah. But then by the time end of the winter comes, you're ready to go on the water again. So it's a constant thing.
So do you see? Is this sort of something that you and Doug will probably be doing for a while, as far as?
As long as he wants to work, yeah. I'm going to be doing it for a while. I'm just getting into it, so I'm not about to slow down now.
How do you feel, you know, it seems kind of funny to, how do you feel about, it's funny, all the hype in the media about the decline of the industry and stuff like that, and you know, a young guy like you, sort of like starting out, and you seem like you're pretty optimistic about it.
Yeah.
Like, how is lobstering sort of in a different state as a lot of the fishing stocks, or how do you feel about that?
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's been more regulated since the beginning, so it's in a better situation than a lot of the codfish, where they were just completely wiped out with no regulations, and now, after the fact, they're trying to make up rules and stuff to bring it back. So I feel pretty good about the lobster stock now, but you know, I'm just getting into it, so I'm just, you know, I'm trying to be as optimistic as possible, not to shoot myself in the foot, you know.
With lobstering, I mean, are the regulations that are going to be coming down over the next few years, are they coming down also in lobstering, or is it a separate thing? Or when they say, I mean,
they're coming down on the ground fish, on like the draggers and stuff. So that, in a way, that could help us.
yeah,
Because the draggers, like we have fixed gear, is what our fishery's called, is fixed gear fishery, and along with the gill nets and stuff. And then draggers is a mobile fishery where they tow, and the gear is always on the boat if it's not, you know. So there's constant conflict with people that leave their gear and people that come in and out with their gear. So it could help us if, I mean, it would hurt a lot of people by some of the regulations.
I mean,
but
help you as far as less competition? Or?
yeah, and not having to worry about gear loss as much, and open up new parts of bottom.
Yeah, how do you lose gear?
By getting towed by a dragger.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you meant like someone was stealing it.
No. And then storms and stuff, but that, you know, regulations have nothing to do with storms.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about your average day. When do you usually go out in the morning?
About like in the summertime when there's more light, we try to leave around 4:30 or 5, and then, you know, as we get more into the fall, it's like 5:30.
And then, so what is your morning like? What's your morning routine?
You know, I get down here a little before I tell Doug to, and get the boat in, and drag the bait for the traps out of the cooler, load that aboard, and put ourselves aboard and go, and then get out the harbor. And
what's it like getting out to your traps? I mean, do you sort of have a fixed route, or does that sort of vary?
Well, it's we've got like I've got traps set in 4 different areas, relatively, you know, like, so, and we haul each area every 4 days, weather depending. And so, like, on any given day, we could be just out here, or way down to the southeast, or where we went when you guys came with us.
Yeah.
So it's just, you try to do it somewhat systematically, so you're not like running all over the ocean. You try to target one section, do that, and then go to another one the next day.
Yeah, so you're not like backtracking.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So how many traps do you normally bring up in a day?
Between like about 200 to 25.
Is that how many you own, or?
No, we have just about 800, like 750.
So every day you just check on like a percentage. How does that?
Yeah,
do you check on them every few days, or how does that work?
It's
How
like,
do you decide when it's time to.
Like 4 nights soak. You try to give it, because that's how long usually this time of year the bait lasts. So you just try to hit a certain area every 4 days. So by the time you go through the gear, you know, because it takes us 4 days to haul the whole string, the whole 750. The first stuff we hauled is ready to go again after the.
So you're trying 200 a day.
Yeah.
So 4 days, that covers them all.
Yep.
So after 4 days, your traps aren't getting any fuller. They just like.
No, they will.
They will.
But I mean, and a lot of guys do longer soaks, and like in the fall now with the weather's the way it is, the traps do sit a lot longer. But the more you bait them and the more you change them, you may not do as well, like on a shorter soak, but over time you'll do better because you're constantly putting new bait in, and that's what works the best.
What type of bait do you use?
Anything really, like salmon racks or codfish heads, bluefish, bass, redfish, flounder. Anything you get your hands on, really.
So while you're out there, do you separate things out of the traps that you could use as bait? Or?
No, we don't usually get a whole lot of bait. We get like the bait from the gill netters or other like fillet houses that cut a lot of fish for restaurants and stuff.
Sort of like scrap fish?
Yeah, it's just like the after you fillet a fish, you get the rack. It's like a head and a skeleton.
Yeah, I'm sort of trying to get a little bit more into the basic stuff because the video is actually for
Yep.
kids and stuff.
Yep.
So if it sounds like I'm being a little.
No, I understand.
Yeah. Okay, so is a trip out there always somewhat of a wild ride as far as
depending on the day? Yeah. This time of year in the fall, the weather's less cooperative as in the summertime. So yeah, some days it's not that pleasant, but other days it can be just like a mill pond, and you love it. But and we don't go in anything crazy,
Except for the pre-Edward swells.
Yeah, yeah, they weren't too fun.
Okay, so once you get out there, how long does it take you to actually pull in all your traps?
It's so, fishing on the water is always, it's interesting because it's never the same, so there's always something that, on a smooth day, we can leave at 5 and be in by noontime, and that's with steam time in between gear. So it can go real quick or it can go real slow, like after the storm. We had a lot of like tangles with the gear and a lot of repairs to do and stuff like that.
What kind of repairs do you have to make?
Like we fish wood traps, so the laths, which are the slats of wood on the traps, get broken. You have to put new wood on, and sometimes the traps get holes in them. You got to mend holes or splice the line and stuff.
Is that drill pretty loud? Is that drill pretty loud?
No, it's not.
How's that horn? Rush Mac.
Fuck off. Yeah, okay.
Rush Mac. Where was I? Oh yeah. So it looks like if you look at like the video that we shot, you can sort of see the same action happening like over and over.
Yeah, it's very
times.
it's very repetitive.
We just shoot every one.
Yep.
But does it seem repetitive to you, or do you sort of see each one as sort of like you're saying tends to vary all the
Yeah,
time?
it's very repetitive, but it can always never be the same,
Yeah.
It's a lot of repetitiveness, but the more you do it, the faster you get, so sometimes you don't even know that, you just get mechanical about it.
Do you sort of have, do you sort of try and see how fast you can do it every time, or?
Yeah, it's like anything.
yourself?
Yeah, you try to efficiently do it, So, because you can break the whole thing down into like an hourly wage, So the faster you go, and if you're catching the same amount, not making any mistakes, then you're making more money,
Yeah.
In the long run, because it's less time you have to be on the boat and so on and so forth.
Let me just fix this.
You just watch your arm on where it's clipped on.
Oh, distortion?
Yeah, as soon as you get it.
Well, let's move it. Let's move the.
I'll just put it like that.
Yeah, let's do that, and then. Okay. What happened with that snag when we were out there? You were caught on something. What was that a tangle or was it caught on something?
Like rocks. Yeah, there's like you try to set on like rock piles and stuff because lobsters like to climb in holes, and they like the shelter and darkness. So sometimes the line will get hung underneath a rock or something. So.
So you guys, you mentioned that it could be a shipwreck or something. What kind of things do you guys get snagged on? I mean, is it a whole bunch of different things? Or
Yeah, it's mainly rocks. I mean, there's not too many wrecks that's a lot of debris showing, so it's mainly like rock piles and stuff.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about lobsters. Like, I don't really know anything about,
I'm learning too.
Yeah.
So.
You're talking about like their shells and stuff.
Yeah, they're migratory around here. So in the summertime, that's why we can't fish in the winter. You could, but you wouldn't do a whole lot. So they go south of here into the canyon lands. It's like where the Gulf Stream is, south of Nantucket, and there's warmer water in the Gulf Stream. And then they come up here, they follow the Gulf Stream up and come into the coastal waters in the summertime. And that's when we catch them.
How old are most of the ones that you normally get?
Like a legal lobster is about 7 years old, and I'm not completely positive of that fact, so I don't want to. It's about 7 years old.
Size oriented rather than age oriented?
Yeah. Like a chicken lobster is like a 1 pound lobster, and that's generally a legal lobster. We have a gauge that measures from the eye socket to the back of the.
Right.
So.
Okay. Do you ever come up with just like absolutely monstrous lobsters, like 70-year-old lobsters? Or?
Yeah, like this time of year, we like our offshore gear, where we have the furthest out, is produces a lot of big lobsters.
Big, as in like
for traps, like 8 to 10 pound lobster. It's an old lobster.
How old would an 8 to 10 pound lobster be, roughly?
At least 70 years old. I forget the ratio per pound for each year, but it's like, I want to say it's like 7 years to a pound or something like that, which would make a 1 pound lobster, so,
Yeah. Tell us about how the shell works, like when you pull up a soft shell or a lobster that doesn't have it. It's not that it doesn't have its shell.
They shed in order for them to grow, they have to lose their old shell and grow into a new one. So when they shed their old one, their body it looks the same, but it's mushy because it hasn't had time to, like our teeth get or the bones get hard. I guess when you're a baby, your bones are real soft. So they go through this cycle when they're younger, they go through it a lot. And as they grow older, the molt happens less.
How's that noise?
It doesn't seem like it's really that bad.
Yeah?
I don't think so.
You just like count to 5 or something?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
That's pretty good. It's, when he's not talking, you kind of hear it, but when he's talking, it's pretty good. Okay. Okay, the soft shells. So, what happens when you get a soft shell in the trap?
We let them go. Yeah, because.
You just throw it back in the water? Or you
just throw it back in the water.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. How about the eggs?
The eggers?
The eggs, yeah.
Well, legally, you can't keep the eggers. You can keep females, but if they're showing the eggs like we showed you, we have to let them go and let their eggs go. And
I heard that it's sort of a problem about some of the lobstermen. They get the eggers and they don't keep them, but the way they throw them back sometimes they sort of wreck the eggs. Like they
yeah,
sort
that's
of throw them
possible.
back carelessly.
Yeah.
How does that work?
Well, when we throw them back, we try to almost place them into the water. I mean, we don't actually place them in the water, but we throw them with it so their back hits the water first, instead of tail first, where their eggs could come off. So we try to be as careful as possible, but sometimes it's hard. They always, just from being in the trap flapping around, they lose eggs. So, but they have, between 50 and 100,000 eggs per lobster on some of the bigger females. So
how many of those eggs will actually make it to?
It's 1/10 of 1% actually become a lobster. So it's a pretty small percentage, but.
Yeah. But it's still a percentage of
Yeah.
what you're going to get.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So you normally come in at 2 o'clock. How does that?
Ultimately.
How do you end your day as far as like, you finish your last trap? And you head
Yeah, we start heading in and we wash the boat down, and clean everything up. And
why do you wash the boat?
pride, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, we don't have to, but I like to have it clean, and Doug does as well. And it makes, if you do a little washing every day, then it's not a big deal at the end of the year. So, and then we come in and unload and bring the lobsters into the market and put the boat away. Look for bait. That's always a constant job, is bait.
How do you look for bait?
We have certain boats that we get heads, codfish heads off of, and bluefish and stuff. So we just, if they're out, we check and see what time they're coming in, and just scrounge around. It's not the most glamorous job, but it's something that has to be done. So it's not bad. You can make it fun.
How does that work with your dad's market? It must be pretty nice as opposed to some guys probably have to
drive them around. Yeah, it's the best.
Do they drive them around, or do they get?
Well, everyone has a market, to sell to, but no one has a market that's as close as we have, because it's right there. We don't have to put them in our truck. We don't have to fight traffic in the summertime or anything.
Exit noise.
Yeah, it's like once we're in, we're in.
Yeah.
So it's a luxury. It's really fortunate to have that deal.
And plus, it must be nice for your dad because he doesn't have to. I'm sure you probably give him a real good. Actually, is it you giving him a price or him giving?
He gives us a price. He gives us like the market value. So it's everyone's, within the same dollar amount. Yeah. All the markets.
So you don't get more going to one market than another.
You may. A little bit here and there, but I mean, I think pretty much it all averages out to be everyone gets the same,
Okay. So the lobsters, when you take them in, like, you ice them down when you're out there?
No, we keep them in a tank we have a wash down hose that brings in seawater from the bottom of the boat and is constantly circulating, so it's giving them air in the water, so they
don't actually get iced at any point.
No, they're just they're living, they're just like they were in the ocean.
So they're taken out of the traps and then
we band them,
tank, and then they're put in.
Yep, right before we get in, we drain the tank and cull them into like certain categories. Like the real small ones we put together, and then we put the big ones together, and then the ones with the one claw or no claws we put together. There are 3 different prices.
Yeah.
So.
The claws are everyone's favorite part. So.
Yeah.
So they get banded too. Like, what other things happen to the?
Band them and put them in the tank. That's it. That's all we have to do.
So they're really out of the water for like
20 minutes maybe.
And when they come in here,
and then they're out of the water for another 20 minutes, and then my dad has the same system, a tank, many tanks in the market that just circulate water.
Okay. What do you normally do when you're done? Day here?
After everything's done, yeah. Well, I eat a lot on the boat. Try to anyway, and stuff at the house, relax. I don't know.
Well, you normally just go right to sleep? Are you exhausted? Or
no,
do you,
it depends on the day.
Like,
No,
get home and your wife is like,
I'm usually
let's
pretty.
Go do something. You
Yeah,
go off and do something
yeah.
all day.
It's nice because in the summertime when things go smoothly, you're done early and you've got a good part of the afternoon to go to the bank or do whatever. Go out, go to the beach, hang out at the house. Depends on the day. If it's raining, take a nap. Whatever the weather's conducive for.
What time do you normally go to bed at night?
Now that I'm a captain, I go to bed at a reasonable hour, probably 10 or 11. But when I was a crew, I didn't sleep much.
Yeah, I think I remember something like that.
Yeah.
So how many hours of sleep do you normally get at night?
I try. If I get like 6 hours, I'm good. That's fine, 6 hours of good sleep is, I'm good to go.
When you were in school, did you have any idea that you wanted to get into lobstering or what?
It's always been in the back of my head since I was little. I always loved it. I thought it was a neat way to do it. But I never, my education in college was outdoor education, so I went a totally different direction. But I'm glad I did. So I have something to fall back on. If fishing goes belly up, then I've got somewhere to go. I know something different.
What is it that you studied?
Outdoor education, resource management, land management type stuff, or teaching at outdoor education school or something like that.
Okay. Is there anything you can tell me about that? Like, how about are there any interesting stories you have of things that just happened that were kind of freaky out on the water, or like certain days when have you had any really tough days out there where you were like the boat broke down or
We haven't we haven't had too many breakdowns because like on days off I try to do a lot of the maintenance. That's another thing involved with it. It's this constant upkeep and salt water corrode stuff, so you got to be on top of stuff. So if you're on top of it, you really shouldn't have any breakdowns. So you try to be as careful as possible when you can. And we haven't had anything too crazy happen. I'm still new at it, so maybe those stories will come.
Knowing what you know about lobstering, what you've done, so how has the process of lobstering changed? Is it doing it the same way they did it 70 years ago, or how is it?
Yeah, I think there's obviously the boats are faster and there's some certain equipment, but it's still the basic same process. You use traps and you bait them and you haul them. I mean, it's a pretty simple thing, but most people are running a lot more gear, and there's a lot more guys doing it. So I think that's the main thing that's changed. But as far as the whole process of how you go about it, I think it's the same.
How do you haul those traps up? It seems like there's a lot of
hydraulics. It's like pumped oil that powers a winch, powered by belts. It's an amazing thing. I don't understand the whole process, but it works. It works good.
How do you work what do you do with use like a Loran and stuff?
Yeah.
Like that there?
Yep. A Loran and radar and compass.
How do you use each of those? I mean, it seems like you're pretty busy when you're going in between the traps and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, I have each trawl that we have, I have written down in a book, and of the Loran numbers, the lat long position, and so when I finish one, I write it down, and then when I'm going to the next one, I have the number, and I know where I'm going. So I just go in that direction.
How does the radar work? You use that
It just shows objects. Like if it was pitch black right now and we had a radar here, it would show each boat and the land. So on the ends of our traps, we have a radar reflector that picks up. The radar picks up the radar. I'm getting harassed.
So you know exactly when you're over your trap.
I like to think so, yeah. Sometimes it's more frustrating than other times, but.
What happens when one of your ropes breaks?
That we have two ends, so if one end breaks, you go to the other one.
So you rarely ever just lose them because they're at the bottom.
Yeah, you rarely do.
What happens in a storm?
Stuff gets really badly tangled up and broken, and just takes a long time. I mean, it depends. On a bad storm, you could lose everything, because traps just pile up together and the ends get chafed off, and you don't know, and they move, so you don't know where they are.
How much would you normally could you lose?
You could lose. I mean, if it's a severe northeasterly storm, you could lose, everything.
I mean, as far as putting a dollar amount on it.
Oh, Well, each trap to replace new is about $50, just for the trap. So if you've got, it's just for 100 of those, that's $5,000 for 100. And so it's like, you know, to replace our string, if we lost everything, it'd be like 30,000 in traps, and then like another, you know, 20 or 30,000 in line and buoys, and then just all the time to do all that, you know.
And there's really no one in the world that's going to insure a trap.
No, they don't insure it, but like for natural disasters, the government can help you out if you really get smacked, you know.
What are your plans in the future for the business?
Well, expand and just not too crazily, but just see how it goes and see what I'm capable of. And
so, like,
definitely grow. I want to grow, but I'll grow with the industry.
What is the growth? What kind of growth?
Like more traps, and you know, more is better, I think. But I don't want to get too crazy, so I'm over my head, you know.
So would that maybe mean also getting another boat and another crew?
No, because then I'd have to have another license. So I would like eventually to get a newer boat. Would be nice. Cause it would be less upkeep in the winter time. You know, like a fiberglass boat. But for now, this one works, and it's almost paid for. So that's the bottom line there.
So tell me a little bit about your boat.
It's a 36-foot wooden. Bert Frost was a builder in Maine boat, and it's oak over mahogany.
When was it built?
1972.
Okay. Why do you call it the Benjo?
Well, my dad named it that after myself, and my mother is Joanne, so Benjo.
Can you just rephrase that, like with Benjo?
Okay. My name is Ben, and my mother's name is Joanne, hence Benjo.
Okay. All right, I think we're just about done.
Good.
Anything else? Any part of the process that we haven't talked about yet? I'm probably missing.
You've touched on just about everything, I think.
Tell me about like when you get sick, or do you get sick often out there?
No, I never. I don't.
Ever? Or?
I used to. I just don't. It doesn't bother me at all. So
How about Doug?
I'm lucky. Every once in a while, he will. You know, but he doesn't. I mean, I think it's also the more you do it, the less apt it's to happen. You know. So.
Yeah, why is that? You just get used to it?
Yeah, you get used to it, you know. You get used to the motion, and it's just like second nature.
Okay, how about going to the bathroom?
What?
You don't have a bathroom, right? So
No, I mean,
okay. Just want to see how you phrase it.
I could phrase it very rudely, I suppose, but I won't.
Who's who in the fishing industry?
Going to the bathroom, you just go overboard as far as pee goes, and we have a bucket if you have to do the other thing with a little toilet seat. Fill the bucket with water and put the toilet seat on.
And what do you normally do about lunch? Do you bring?
Yeah, pack
Does
sandwich.
My hand just go in the frame when I do it?
Huh?
Does my hand just go in the frame when I do it?
No.
Okay.
Pack a sandwich, a couple sandwiches and fruit and whatever, juices, water.
Do you make it, or does your wife make it?
I usually make it, but if she feels ambitious, I let her go, you know.
How does that work with Terry? Does she, does she enjoy being married to a Lobsterman?
Yeah.
Is it a tough lifestyle, or do you feel it's actually a pretty?
I love it. Yeah, it's healthy. It's a healthy lifestyle, to rephrase it.
All right. I think we're cool, man. Thanks, man.
You're welcome. Ah.
So I'm still trying to work on this. Oh yeah, maybe you might know. One of the things with this going out underwater.